Hey, thank you so much for being with us. I'm Brooke Allen, the host of Caffeinated Conversations, but today a little bit out of my element. We are broadcasting from the brand new Studio 281, and it is such a pleasure to be hosting their inaugural podcast, of course, and they've got their grand opening. They had their ribbon cutting earlier, so it is quite a lot of fun to be here. And my next guest here is oh my gosh, I'm going to blank. Evan?
That's right. You got me.
Shaline. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me right now? Okay, Evan Shaline, you are the president of VETTED LLC, and this is a pretty new company.
Yep, we were founded last year in March, and we are focusing on our primary business, which is veteran care.
Okay.
And here in Michigan, the Southeast Michigan region for the VA, it's been closed out for quite a few years. My business partner, he has home care companies, and we partnered to help the veterans in some of the facilities that he staffs who are receiving subpar care, and sometimes they're not aware of the benefits that they actually have.
So why do you think that, so often we hear that, right, with even elderly care and veterans, that there's so many benefits that they're entitled to, but somehow they don't know all of them?
Yeah, I think there's partly, the veteran themselves, in some extent, is to blame for not seeking out those benefits. A lot of times, especially right now, especially when we're talking about those veterans that are getting up there, our Vietnam veterans are primarily, starting to get into the home care and needing some support and assistance. And so, they weren't treated very well. And so sometimes they just have a little bit of a boundary, a little standoff. Even with the VA, they can feel that there's been, some negative feelings toward the VA in the past with veterans.
And they might think, well, they didn't care then, why would they care now?
Exactly. Right? And so that's part of our business is letting veterans know. In fact, for years now, I've been, helping a lot of veterans get connected with different agencies that can help them receive their benefits, and things are speeding up at the VA. The VA is morphing and changing. They're bringing in AI to help veterans get benefits. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on.
Well, that's good, right? So yeah, that's an improvement. So okay, so as far as you guys, so you help with this. What else do you do?
So we also do federal contracting, and that kind of we were founded as a service-disabled veteran-operated small business. So my background was naval special operations. I was a SEAL, and so we founded this company in order to, be veteran-led, in order to kind of get into this veteran care world. And so because of the difficulties of getting enrolled with the Southeast Michigan region VAs and all the outpatient clinics, I've been pivoting toward utilizing our service-disabled veteran-operated small business set-aside to go after federal contracts.
Okay. So what is the biggest challenge you guys are facing right now? I mean, you're a new company, and what is that?
The biggest challenge that we're facing right now on the veteran side is just enrollment.
Okay.
Just get the VA has a community cares department. So if a veteran needs some assistance from the VA, let's say dental, and there's not a dentist available at the VA, then they'll refer that veteran out to the community to receive that care. So that the VA has a vendor list. Okay, these vendors are all authorized.
Like approved vendors.
Right, and so then that list gets closed down because there's a big company called Optum that does all the billing for the VA, and they only allow so many vendors on that list. So it's difficult.
Okay.
The other side of the business, the greatest challenge we face is really just understanding and developing our federal contracting company. We were just awarded our very first federal contract inside of a year trying, which according to my Apex Accelerator mentor and some vet biz, because I'm a veteran, we have a ton of people out there looking to support us and help us, especially on the federal contracting side. And the average is about 3 years. So we have been diligently working towards these contracts, and we finally got one. So we're very stoked.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
That is a big deal. So as a veteran yourself, what is the greatest need? I know you said benefits, but what is the greatest need for veterans that they may not ask for, but that they need? Is it mental health? Is it housing? What is it?
Well, if you're asking me, I would say it's mental health, it's suicide awareness and understanding. So we are actually trying to put together a what I call the Special Operations Crisis Response Team. So what everybody in the mental health space understands is that peer-to-peer support is the highest quality support you're going to get. So if you're a combat veteran that's suffering from PTSD or traumatic brain injury or the other many things that, isolation is a big one. Another combat veteran is the best person to be able to talk to that person and communicate with them, especially in the veteran world. Veterans tend to be
Stoic, right?
yeah, and they're very cautious about talking to a therapist.
Okay.
The therapist is writing stuff down. They've done things where in their mind that, there's a lot of trauma involved in what goes on in war. And so, you can question if what you did was right, if what you did was wrong, and then you have everything in the political environment saying that this was right and this was wrong, and we shouldn't.
Yes, pulled in every direction.
Right. So and then there's somewhat of an idea that veterans are dangerous or potentially, overly aggressive, and of course, there's examples in wherever you look.
But there's examples for that anywhere
Exactly.
and with anyone.
Exactly. And so I think that in the veteran community, sometimes that, we feel like we're unjustly treated or unfairly treated because we're combat veterans, or, because some of the things that we've done and seen in places that we've been, that somehow, we are
Shouldn't talk about it?
well, shouldn't.
I
Dangerous.
can imagine there's some shame there too.
Yeah, it's all involved, all those different things. But the biggest is that, we have about depending on what source you're looking at, 17 to 40 veterans a day are taking their own lives.
Yeah.
It's a horrible problem. And I would like to develop a crisis line calls. So that helps because police officers, 30% of our police officers are veterans.
Okay.
But a lot of our police officers are, understaffed, overburdened, and expecting some of these police officers, especially with what they deal with on a daily basis, to go in and be able to give that sort of mental health or that understanding support to a veteran who's literally called in on a crisis line. That can end up in arrest a lot more often than not.
Okay.
That creates shame, guilt, isolation from their community.
And the cost.
Exactly. The
Right?
cost is huge.
Right.
There's a
So,
huge
there's
cost.
so much involved in that.
Right. And you have, up in Genesee County, you've got a veteran in crisis up there, and they've got to get an ambulance to bring them all the way down to the Ann Arbor VA, and there's challenges. And so what we would like to do is intervene there. And
So how have you started working on that? Or
we have.
Oh, you
We're putting
Okay.
in we're
Okay.
we're putting in the due diligence. We have developed a team. We have everything that we need. We just need to get with the counties and the state.
Okay, so who can reach out to you, I guess is the best question.
Anybody can reach out. VETTED LLC, our website is vettedvc.com.
Okay.
And
So a
my
veteran can
number's
reach out
on
to
there.
you?
Yep.
Okay.
Veterans, we're building a network. We're building a tribe. So give us a call, especially if you're a veteran, and we'd love to get you in the right direction.
What about, because we just mentioned how veterans don't like to reach out, what about if a family member? Could they reach out on behalf of the veteran?
Absolutely. And that goes for the crisis lines as well. If you know that your husband, wife, brother, sister, son, daughter is in a place where you're worried about them, it's time to, make a call and get somebody involved, especially a peer. If you know that they have another friend that's a veteran, you need to reach out because that friend is going to be the best person to touch them.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. What a amazing mission you guys have. And honestly, I mean, the special ops, I only laughed at that because you said you were in SEAL, right?
Right, yeah.
So when you said special ops, I'm like, of course. So no, a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much. And good luck with everything. And I think that my dad is a Vietnam vet.
Wow.
So I get it. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you, and thank you for supporting him as well.
Yeah.
I love to thank the family. I always go to the wife and say, hey, thank
Thanks.
you for your service.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, it's a whole thing, right?
It's a
And a
whole
lot of
thing.
people don't understand that. So thank you for your service and thank you for what you're doing. And we will be right back after this. Thanks.